morning, good evening, and good afternoon from wherever you are calling from. Today, I want to talk about communication. Again, 3 mistakes of unexplained expectation. 3 mistakes of unexplained expectation, because I happen to have that experience of what I expected something to happen and I didn't communicate it the right way. And what happened. So I want to walk you through 3 mistakes that I personally made and that I want to maybe help you to kind of get some wisdom out of my mistake. And this, by the way, could be in anything in your life, but we're going to specifically focus on relationship. The first thing that is a mistake is not taking the time to explain and express what you are expecting. Not taking the time, not being clear. Because I think for me, sometimes I run so fast, I assume. So it's not assuming that people or the person that you're expecting something to happen to just know. It's like I've been married for 22 years. And I can't assume everything that my wife likes because every year we're changing. Every probably day, things are changing. So it's good to ask and clarify. But what it is when you don't explain and you don't express, what you're basically doing is you are creating a bottleneck in the future of time. Like you're gonna have to spend a lot more time. And I was thinking I was saving time. I want to make something happen. I want you to do this X and Z, but not really explaining what I was expecting and not taking the time to do that. The second problem with not explaining your expectation is not when you see something going down, when you see what you asked for not happening. Like, so in a relationship, you ask for this to be done, but it didn't happen. It's not happening. So if you ask for a specific task to be done and it's not happening, it's up to you to course correct, to correct what is going on, to actually explain, to reinforce what you said in the beginning without hoping that it will take care of itself. So you've got to do the follow-up. When you ask for something and it didn't happen, it is up to you. When you expect people to just step up and follow up and do what you said you're going to do, guess what's going to happen? You're going to be bitter. You're going to be resentful. You're going to blame them for not doing what you said you were going to do. So the first thing you want to do is definitely explain. If you're not explaining clearly what you're expecting, the second thing you're going to most likely do is bypass the reinforcement. You're not going to reinforce. You're just going to be like, they'll get it. I hope they'll get it. And why do you think that is? Why would you not reinforce, let's just say, your boundaries of what you expected? Why would you do that? Because subconsciously, you're thinking in your head, I didn't do a good job explaining and clarifying what I was expecting. And now I'm seeing maybe they're struggling. Maybe they're frustrated. Maybe they're going through something because of my lack of explaining, right? And then all of a sudden, I'm looking at that and going, oh man, now I people please. I'm like, it's okay. Hopefully this is making connection with you on this. And then the third thing I think is a big mistake is not taking ownership for us, not explaining, not articulating well, and not communicating well. When you're not taking ownership of it, you tend to blame people for maybe not getting you. You blame people for dropping the ball, but at the end of the day, maybe they did. Maybe they didn't listen to you. Maybe they were somewhere else. But if you are not able to be responsible for your part of communication, you'll never grow. You'll never see how much you need to communicate, grow. And for me, I needed to take the humble pill. I needed to see, wow, you know what? I wasn't clear about this. I wasn't very clear about you doing A, B, C. And then when I saw you doing Z, D, E, I didn't reinforce it. I didn't come back to you and talk to you and say, you know what? Well, I told you about this thing that I really wanted to happen. Is there a reason why you didn't do this? And then the third thing I didn't do is at first, I didn't take ownership. It's easy to blame. It's easy to point the finger, and it's easy to complain about the fact that things are not happening the way I want it, the way you want it, because people are just not listening. That's such an easy thing to do. But the thing that it will do, you will have to deal with it. You will have to deal with either your lack of communication or your unclear communication of your expectations. So the worst part about this is you're going to spend a lot of time dealing with the consequences of you not communicating clearly. And it takes a lot more time. And it takes even more time if you're not being responsible and not taking or not being 100% responsible for what you're creating. I'm not saying it's your fault. I'm just saying that you get to be more responsible in the way you communicate. So always look at the way you are communicate when there's bad communication, because that's the only thing you could change. I'm not saying that people didn't communicate right or they didn't listen. Some people don't, but still, how can I speak more clear? How can I explain? And what did I do that didn't communicate right? That's the way you want to do. That's the way you want to take the time to explain and clarify. You want to take the time to correct and to reinforce. You want to take the time to have ownership of what you're doing. Again, it takes time. It takes skills to be able to communicate the right way. And it doesn't take any skills, it doesn't take any time to just complain and blame. So that's what I wanted to talk to you about. So if you're ready, do discovery, and then I'll reach out to you, have a 15-minute conversation with you, and then we could talk about, okay, how do we get committed to your authentic self? So thank you for watching. Have an amazing, amazing day.